What would Curt do? Of course, the Curt I mean this week is former Boston Red Sox pitcher Curt Schilling. He posted information on his very popular blog and tweeted it out as well about his 17-year-old daughter's acceptance to a college where she too would play baseball. The responses were many and varied, but quickly descended beyond typical troll-like behavior to comments about rape and other forms of abuse. Schilling decided not to let things lie. He ignored the common advice to ignore, don't feed the troll. He wanted to identify the trolls and let people know who they were. He identified the two worst of them and let people know who they were, including the teams one of them played for and an employer that one of them works for. So was he going crazy and totally inappropriate in his overreaction? Because after all, sticks and stones will break my bones and names will never hurt me? Or was Schilling being a good and responsible parent, responding to a problem that almost no family hasn't been touched by one way or another, and that's cyberbullying? To me, it's very, very clear. Schilling was in the right. He didn't threaten, he didn't rant, he didn't rave. He actually simply did what so rarely happens online. He used what Justice Brandeis called the best disinfectant of all: sunlight. He decided that there would be real naming of who these people were. No hiding behind the anonymity that gives them the courage to behave in such grotesque ways. He let people know that's what these guys are doing, and I think he was 100% right. There is one problem in all this, though, that's probably worth remembering, and it has to do with any time we speak ill of others, whether justified or not. Turns out there's an old Jewish story about a man who was doing just that, speaking ill of another, in this case not justified, realized he was wrong and goes to apologize. The man to whom he apologized wasn't so moved by the apology, saying, "Look, a lot of the damage is done." The guy said, "What do you mean? It's just words, and I tried, and now I'm apologizing." The man who was hurt didn't accept it so quickly, and so the man who spoke ill in the first place went to a teacher, in this case a rabbi, and said, "Rabbi, I don't get it. What's the big deal? I did something wrong and I apologized. It should be over, no?" The rabbi said, "Well, you're partially correct, and there's always a place for forgiveness, a very important place. On the other hand, if you want to understand what it means to speak ill of another person, I want you to try this. I want you to take this pillow and take this knife and slash open the pillow." The man was a little surprised, but did as the rabbi instructed, slashing open the pillows. And immediately the feathers that filled it up went flying into the wind, thousands of them scattering almost immediately. And the rabbi said, "Now I'd like you to go find all those feathers and put them back in their rightful place." The man looked at the rabbi and said, "But that's not possible." To which the rabbi said, "And that's how it is with speaking ill of another person. Words actually have feet. They travel. And that's the challenge for the trolls, but it's also a challenge for any of us when we out the trolls. In this case, it cost one of the trolls a place on a team he plays on and the other a job. So I think if we really want to go for genuine openness, everyone's going to have to figure out how to name and shame when appropriately, but then not pile on and make one bad act the sum total of a person's life that gets them thrown off a team they've worked hard to earn a spot on, or to lose a job they may need to put food on a table. See, that's the way it is when we go public, which I think we should and think Curt Schilling was totally right to do. We all have to make sure that in order to make ourselves feel good about standing on the side of justice, we don't move quickly to the side of vengeance.